The underlying theme of all of our obscure documentary-esque work, whether we are behind the camera or in front of it or just narrating as audio only, is hopefully self-development of the individual. So Niles, why do you occasionally touch on politics, which is the set of activities that are associated with making decisions in groups? We realize it can generally be so exhausting and would instead love to be talking only about higher level third eye related things and don't want to make all of our work solely about politics, and we wish we could just fast forward to the point where it's sane, stable, and boring and thus don't have to focus on it at all. But due to the current landscape throughout the world, and specifically of course in the United States, along with things that have been happening our whole lifetime, American democracy, which has not yet even been fully achieved, as we typically have had kleptocracy, even that is gravely under threat, and currently is more in the flavor of plutocratic oligarchy. Moving towards real, actual, direct democracy, which belongs to everyone, is the group project that never ends. It's where everyone gets a say, no one agrees, and a way too large chunk of the team doesn't even show up to the game, and yet somehow we mostly all still pass the class. It's priceless because it gives power not just to the financially powerful, but to the person standing next to you in line, regardless of their societal status and income, and thus hands over the steering wheel of society, not to cunty kings, not to tyrants, but to all of us collectively. It's priceless because you have the ability to speak, protest, write, run for office, and support others who do, of which many have zero reference points as to how rare that has been through much of recent Dark Age history. The ability to disagree very loudly but still live near each other as neighbors is a good thing. Every generation's shared ownership, slow, flawed, fragile, and frustrating as it can be, is always worth defending. And within it, every voice counts, and if real cannot be bought, though many have tried and certainly will continue to do so. Its ultimate beauty is that it can survive violence, revolutions, wannabe dictators, and even in its imperfections, it offers an evolving society. But most of all, it's 100 times better than authoritarianism, where not only does no one have any space for the ability to self-develop, but also, when the worst disagree with what you have to say, you are disappeared into the shadows, and at the time of this writing and speaking, there was a textbook wannabe authoritarian event in our country with a military parade element that was a pathetic flop. And simultaneously, there were thousands of cells of pro-democracy counter-protests, which were some of the largest in the nation's history, if not the very largest. And that, pals, is exactly why evolving towards democracy is worth the struggle. When engaged in, it shines grassroots light on astroturf darkness, and moving toward actual democracy requires not only such constant participation, but vigilance and refinement in order for it to evolve. Voltaire certainly questioned if we're smart enough for it, and man, many feel that way in the West in the first quarter of the 21st century, primarily because of the deplorable state of the rebooting Fourth Estate, meaning journalism and the media, but a well-educated voting populace, which is desperately needing to continue being developed, can only continue to happen through the self-development of each individual that takes part in it. And we, as hopefully part of that, are unapologetically on Team Pro-Democracy and recommend listening to our essay series on the subject.